I woke up this morning a little tired, not lazy, just human. Sometimes you wake up exhausted emotionally, physically, mentally, and that's not weakness, that's life. But then you are reminded why you are here, not just because of what you want, but for what you are building. And that reminder changed everything. Most people wait to feel ready. I stopped waiting, not because fear disappear, but because momentum matter more than perfection. Showing up every day is how maps are made. And here is the truth most people don't want to hear. If you put yourself out there relentlessly without waiting to be perfect, you are bound to be seen, you are bound to pop off. Not because you are special, but because most people never even try. Think about it. If success was so unrealistic, why do other people have it? The difference isn't talent. It's consistency, it's honesty, it's the courage to show up even when your voice shakes. All you have to do is to put yourself out there every single day and be honest as hell while you do it. Let people let people judge, let people misunderstand it. Friends, family, strangers, it's not your job to manage their reactions. Because the moment you worried about what other people think, you give away your power. And then when you give away your power, you stop focusing on the only thing you can control. How truthful are you? How present are you? How real you are when you are expressing yourself through your art, your music, your videos, your writing, your existence, whatever form it takes. Kill the perfectionist mentality, because when perfection dies, momentum is born. I learned this while building life in France. When I first arrived, I didn't understand the language, I didn't understand the culture, I didn't understand the silence. Arriving here felt like stepping into a different planet. My first class weren't math or English, it was FLS, a class designed just to survive the language. But FLS wasn't just about grammar. It was my first entry point into the French identity, the French rhythm, the French life. Every new word made the world feel a little bit more like mine. Then came the DELF exam, a proof of where I stood, and a key to what comes next. Step by step, language open doors. That's how France teaches you. You adopt, you prove yourself, you move forward. Now I'm in a professional lycée in Chartres, in accompagnement soins service à la personne, commonly known as ASSP, and that changed me. I take care of elderly people. I help them wash, dress, eat, living with dignity. Sometimes in retirement homes, sometimes at their houses, or as the French says, at domicile. That kind of work humbles you. It teaches you patience, respect, presence. France also taught me something cultural that no textbook explains. Here, you don't smile at everyone. You don't always greet strangers. People seem harder on the outside, but that isn't coldness, it is rhythm. Once you understand it, the softness appears when you least expected it. That taught me observation, listening, emotional intelligence. And because of the language barrier, you learn quickly that words matter. A sentence can land wrong, a joke can be misunderstood. So you learn courage, you speak anyways, you make mistake anyways, because silence doesn't teach you anything. Social integration doesn't happen overnight. It takes effort, patience, and vulnerability. Real friendship here didn't grow because things were easy. They grow because we wrote life into each other's story, from poetry and music to honest conversations about family, dreams, pressure, identity, and school. Some of these friendships are like sisters to me now. They push me to my full potential, and yes, there are hypocrites too. Some people smile to your face and criticize how you express yourself behind your back. But that's everywhere, and it's not your responsibility. Because if you are being your true self, there is no wrong decision. You cannot express yourself incorrectly when it's honest. The only time when expression becomes wrong is when you are trying to impress other people. But when you are trying to impress your inner child, it is magnetic, it is powerful, it is present. Some days, your body feels heavy, your mind feels restless, your heart a little weary, but then you are reminded why you are here, why you keep showing up, why you refuse to shrink for anyone. not just for yourself, but for the generation before you and for the ones that comes after you. For the people watching who do not yet believe they are allowed to take space, that's what keeps you moving. That's what keeps you showing up. So I showed up. I study, I create, I walk this street, I land this country, I live this life out loud, imperfectly. Here is something nobody really tells you about moving through life in a system that wasn't built with you in mind. Not school, not society, not even culture. They don't tell you how much quiet strength it takes just to exist in it without losing yourself. When I walk through school here, when I move through street, when I sit in class or public transport, I notice something. Life doesn't stop to ask if you are okay. It keeps moving. And at first that feels harsh, cold, almost indifferent. But then you start to understand something deeper. France isn't a place that holds your hand. It is a place that teaches you how to stand on your own. You learn fast that nobody's coming to rescue you from your confusion, from your discomfort, from feeling behind. You either adopt or stay quiet. And adaptation doesn't mean changing who you are. It means learning to carry who you are into a new space without shrinking. That is a skill. There are days when school feels less like a building and more like a mirror that asks you questions you are not ready to answer. Who are you when nobody applauds? Who are you when you don't fully understand the language? Who are you when you are doing your best and it still feels invisible? That's where identity gets forged. Not in the motivational speeches, not in the aesthetic quotes, but in the ordinary days, early mornings, missed buses, long walks, heavy backpacks, silent classrooms. Living here taught me that discipline doesn't always look loud. Discipline looks like showing up anyways, even when you feel misunderstood, even when your accent gives you away, even when confidence is still catching up to your courage. Also, there is something powerful about being a student in a town like Shakhtar. It's not Paris, it's not chaos, it's not noisy, it's rhythm. A place where history watches you quietly while you build your future. Where old stones building exists next to young people still figuring themselves out. That contrast does something to you. It reminds you that life has been layered for centuries and you are just adding your chapter. And when you really think about it, school isn't just about grades or diploma. It is about learning how to move through systems without letting them harden you. You learn patience, you learn boundaries, you learn when to speak and when to obey. You learn that some people will never understand your paths and it's okay. Their understanding is not your requirement for growth. There is a strange freedom in realizing that you stop performing, you stop explaining yourself, you start becoming. Some people do not bully because they are powerful. They bully because they are limited, especially in class, especially when the language becomes a weapon. I watch it happen. Someone struggling in French, their words don't come out fast enough, their accents gave them away, and suddenly someone feels entitled to laugh, interrupt, correct, or dominate their space. Not because they are smart, because they think fluency equals superiority. That's a lie. Some people use language like a throne. They sit on it, they speak over others. They assume silence means weakness. But silence doesn't always mean you don't have nothing to say. Sometimes it means you are speaking in a language they don't understand yet. Here is what no one tells you. If someone disrespects you because you don't express yourself perfectly in French, you do not owe them politeness. You owe yourself dignity. You are allowed to speak back, even if your sentence break, even if your grammar shakes, even if your voice trembles, and even if French isn't the language where your strengths live yet. Then you speak in your own, your mother tongue, your first language, the language where your spine is straight and your meaning are sharp. Because expression isn't about being understood immediately, it is about refusing to be reduced. When you respond even in another language, you are doing something powerful. You are breaking the role they assigned to you. You are saying, I am not your joke, I am not your practice exercise, I am not your punching bag. And here is the part people don't like to hear. Bullies rely on your hesitation, on your fear of being wrong, on your fear of sounding stupid. And the moment you stop trying to impress them and you start trying to protect yourself, the dynamic shifts. You don't need perfect French to set boundaries. You don't need advanced vocabulary to show presence. Sometimes all it takes is tune, posture, eye contact. The confidence is to say something instead of shrinking. And let's be clear, being vocal doesn't mean being aggressive. It means being unavailable to disrespect. You are not less intelligent because you are multilingual. You are not behind because you are learning. You are not weak because you are adopting. In fact, it takes more courage to build yourself in a foreign language than to hide behind comfort in your own. So, if you're in class right now, feeling small because your French isn't perfect, remember this. You are allowed to take up space before you feel ready. You are allowed to defend yourself before you feel fluent. You are allowed to exist loud, even imperfectly. There is something beautiful in realizing that their cruelty isn't your responsibility. And once you understand that, you stop shrinking, you stop apologizing for learning, you start standing where you are, not fluent yet, but unbreakable and unstoppable. And here is another truth that rarely gets acknowledged. Most foreign students don't just study, we overstudy. We read twice as long, we revise in 2 or more languages, we translate lessons in our head before we even answer the question. To get the same grade, we often work 10 times harder. Not because we are behind, but because the system wasn't built with us in mind. While others revise content, we reverse meaning, tune, context, instruction. We don't just learn the subject, we learn the language of the subject. And despite that, we show up, we respect the classroom, we value the teacher's role, we listen carefully, we ask questions with humility. For many of us, education isn't casual, it is a privilege, an opportunity, sometimes even responsibilities to our families, our stories, our future. So when effort is met with indifference or dedication is met with doubt, it cuts deeper than people even realize. Sometimes the doubt looks like difference. Sometimes it looks like settled exclusion. Sometimes it looks like joke, absorption, lowered expectation. And sometimes it looks like racism. Not always loud, not always obvious, but present enough to be felt at school, at work, in public spaces. And here is the professional truth. Acknowledging this doesn't make us better, it makes us aware. We are not asking for special treatment, we are asking for fair recognition. Recognition that effort is effort, regardless of accent, regardless of origin, regardless of how long it took someone to find the right words. Because behind every foreign student is someone carrying more than just a backpack. We carry adaptation, expectation, pressure, and still we choose excellence. So when we speak, we stand our grounds, we demand respect. It's not entitlement, it's on presence. People don't talk about this enough when it comes to studying and living in France. The system itself demands endurance, not motivation, not hype, endurance. In France, school isn't designed to make you feel confident every day. It is designed to test how long you can stay focused without external validation. Grades are not inflated, praises is rare, silence is normal. You can do well and hear nothing. You can improve and receive no applause. You can give your best and still be told c'est moyen, ni félicitations, ni rien. Il faut que vous travaillez encore un peu plus. And at first that messes with your head because you come from a place where effort is acknowledgeable, where teachers encourage you verbally, where progress is celebrated out loud. Here, progress is assumed and excellence is expected to speak for itself, so you learn a different kind of performance enhancement, emotional stamina. You learn to keep going without being clapped for, without being reassured, without being constantly reminded that you are doing well. That changes you. It forces you to build internal validation, to stop chasing approval, to measure yourself against your own discipline instead of other people's reaction. And for foreign students, that pressure doubles because when you fail, it's not just academic, it feels personal, it feels cultural, it feels like proof you are not doing well or you do not belong. So you adopt, you learn how to organize time precisely, how to respect deadlines strictly, how to work independently, how to perform under quiet pressure. You learn that being tired is not an excuse but a condition you learn to manage, and slowly you realize it. You become sharper, more constructed, more disciplined, more resilient. France teaches you how to function even when motivation is low. It's a skill, a real one, and it stays with you for life. You also start noticing how much autonomy is expected from students here. No one is chasing you, no one is reminding you, no one is holding your hand. If you miss some things, it's on you. If you fall behind, it's your responsibility to catch up. That autonomy can feel brutal, especially when you are still translating the language in your head. But it trains you. It trains you decision making, self management, and accountability. You stop waiting to be saved, you stop waiting to be noticed, you start moving with intention. And that ties back to everything. Putting yourself out there, showing up consistently, not waiting for permission, not waiting to feel ready. France doesn't teach confidence by confronting you, it teaches confidence by surviving the process. By the time you realize it, you no longer ask, am I good enough? You ask, what next? And that shift, that internal recalibration, is one of the most powerful transformation a student can experience, not just academically, but personally, professionally, humanly. Here is another part of student life in France that really shapes you. Internships, because here internships are not optional, they are not extra, they are part of your formation, the part of how the system decide whether you are ready for real life. In my course ISSP, Accompagnement Soins Service à la Personne, finding an internship isn't just about filling a requirement, it is about proving that you can show up in real world. Nobody prepares you how to do it. You learn by doing. You write your CV, you write your motivational letter, not something you copy from the internet, but something that you can explain why you want to work with that association, that retirement home, that organization. You explain who you are, what you are studying, what you want to learn, and what you can already offer. And then this is important, you don't just send it by email and wait, because the truth is a lot of places don't read emails, or they read them too late, or they forget. So you go in person, you print your CV, you dress correctly, you walk in and introduce yourself. You speak even if your French isn't perfect, even if your accent shows, even if your hand is shaking a little bit, because presence matter. When people see you, they hear your voice, they feel your seriousness, everything changes. Sometimes they say leave your CV, sometimes they say come back later, and sometimes more than often people think they say yes. That's something I'm learning here. Initiative is respect, and most of the time when you showed up physically, communicate clearly, and show motivation, you get the internship. And internships in France go further than just school. If you do your work well, you are punctual, respectful, involved, serious, these places remember you. They see your efforts, they see your discipline, they see your humanity, and sometimes they propose something more. A job during school holidays, work on weekends, extra hours during vacation. That's how opportunities are created, especially for foreign students. Not through shortcuts, but through consistency. And yes, internships here are paid. Not much, but enough for the amount of work you do. It's recognition, a compensation, a way to say your time matters. And beyond the money, what you gain is bigger: experience, confidence, professional vocabulary, human connection. You learn how to speak to colleagues, how to respect others, how to adapt in different environments, how to be reliable. Internships teaches you how to belong in professional space even when you are not from here. It also teaches you something deeper, that you don't have to wait for permission to create opportunities. You prepare, you show, you speak, you follow through. And the same formula works everywhere, in school, in work life. Internships in France is not just core requirements, they are repetition builders. From the moment you walk into your internship, you are no longer a student, you are a future professional being observed, and how you comport yourself matters a lot. This is not the place for your phones, not for scrolling, not texting, not disappearing mentally. Present is currency. You show respect by being attentive, by listening more than you speak, by taking notes, even when you think you will remember later on. Because writing shows seriousness, it shows intentions, it shows that you came to learn, not just to pass time. Asking questions is not a weakness here, it is intelligent. Questions means you are engaged. Question means you care. Question means you want to improve. And improvement is the entry purpose of an internship. Respecting the rules of the place, their timing, their structure, the way they do things is not negotiable. Even if it's not how you will do it, even if it's not perfect, even if it feels strict. Because professionalism is not about comfort, it is adaptability. In France, especially, your behavior often speaks louder than your voice. You don't talk back, you don't cut corners, you don't act entitled. You observe, you learn, you execute. And at the end of every internship, there is something many students underestimate: the evaluation. A student book that reports the written appreciation of your internship supervisor. What they write can follow you longer than you think. They don't just write about your skills, they write about your attitude, your discipline, your response, and your reliability. If you were being careless, if you were being unprofessional, if you lack seriousness, it shows. And later, when you are looking for a job or another internship or recommendation, that evaluation can either open door or close them quietly. It's not just the work, it's the connection you build. Every colleague you meet, every supervisor you interact with, every small task you handle, it's part of your professional network. Even if it feels small, even if it feels routine, every interaction matters. Ask questions, observe carefully, show initiative, offer to help when it's appropriate. Take note on how they solve problems, how they manage people, how they handle emergency. This is where foreign students can truly shine. Because when you are motivated, respectful, and present, your efforts stand out immediately and people notice, people remember, and that can lead to unexpected opportunities, future job, references, and even mentorship from someone who sees your potential. Another aspect worth noting is preparing before the internship. Many students underestimate how important it is to understand the company or organization beforehand. Knowing their values, services, or workflow can set you apart from the rest. Even spending a little time researching and writing down questions show initiative and professionalism. And now, speaking of opportunities that students often miss, France offers more than just education. All students in France are registered on apps, an application that makes life easy and more affordable. It gives you access to reduced fare for public transportation, discount on books, electronic, and even tickets for cultural events like theater, cinema, and concerts. It's not just convenient, it's a tool that allows you to focus more on learning, working, and living without letting the everyday cost of living become a burden. For foreign students especially, it is a tool but a real support system, a way of making life in a new country more manageable, so you can concentrate on growing, studying, and showing up every day. This combination of hard work in internship and access to tools like apps is what turns challenge into opportunity. It's the full spectrum of being a student in France: professional growth, personal growth, and practical support. France have a system in theory and in practical. It's built around solidarity, especially in education. For many international students, the cost of living can be overwhelming. Tuition, housing, transport, food, books, it adds up fast, and that's where the student support system becomes the real lifeline. One of the significant parts of this scholarship These aren't just awards for academic achievements, they are financial aids based on need. They help students who does not have financial help from home to pay for everything essential. Some cover housing aid, other helps with transport, and some cover even meals. For students like me, this means I don't have to worry about eating in the canteen. My scholarship covers my meal. I don't have to calculate every bite I take. I don't have to skip lunch to save some few euros. That relief, it's small, but it seems huge. This system is built on a principle the French call solidarity, a solidarity that says every student, regardless of origin, deserves access to education and dignity while learning. It's not perfect, nothing is forever, but it is real. There are also specific aids for international students depending on your situation. For example, housing support, known as the APL or the ALS, health coverage through Sécurité Sociale Étudiant, subsidized transport with YABs, discount on books, cinema, theater, and cultural outings, and in cases, emergency fund for students in real-life hardship. Online students talk about how this system can be complicated at first, form to fill, criteria to meet, deadline to catch. But once you are in, you begin to feel what other system does not always provide, community support backed by public structures. It doesn't mean it's easy, it doesn't mean you don't work hard, it doesn't mean you don't hustle, but it does means you are not alone with bills. You have a canteen where you eat without paying every day, transport discount that helps you move between school and internship, coverage for health that every student is entitled to, cultural discount that makes life here richer, not poorer. That is real beauty of this system, but also benefit from structures designed to support your journey, not hide it. That's something many international students discover slowly. France does not just expect effort, it also back it with support. And when you feel the support, you are not just surviving, you become empowered. Not everyone has to figure it out alone. Not every burden has to be carried in silence. Scholarship, solidarity, support school system. They do not replace hard work, they amplify it, and that part is what makes life here meaningful. One of the things that many international students discover, sometimes by accident, sometimes after a few months, is that being a student in France actually opens doors to travel and experience that so many people don't expect. Beyond scholarship, internship, and daily school life, there are systems designed to help students move, explore, and experience the world without breaking the bank. For starters, there are discounted travel options within France that many students don't realize until they learn how to navigate the system. The National Train Company, SNCF, offers special programs for young people and students which can cut the cost of trains significantly, whether you are going home for a weekend or exploring a new city. Some regional passes give up to 50% off regional routes, and there are cards like CAT Advantage Zone that offer reduction on TGV and intercity train for a relatively small price, which quickly pays for itself if you travel often. It's not just within France. There are European programs and cards that makes you explore affordable cross-border. For example, the European Youth Card, valid in dozens of countries, give you access to thousands of discounts on transport, accommodation, cultural sites, activities, and more, even throughout Europe. For rail travel specifically, there is also Euro Youth Pass, which give young travelers up to 25% discount on standard adult train prices across many European countries. This means if you have a dream of hopping between historical sites, beaches, mountain, or festival during breaks or long weekends, it's more within your reach than you might think. And don't forget the student traveling discount fund. found on more everyday transport. City network and regional option offer students a friendly price for buses, train, metro, and even cultural outings. Some cities offer annual transport passes at student rates that let you travel unlimited through the region, and in some cases they even include discounts for museum, cinemas, and show as part of the package. That all add to a kind of mobility freedom that is rare in other countries. As a student, you are not here to study, you are here to explore, experience, to step into another culture, to walk upstairs older than most cities back home, to listen to dozens of language on a single train, to learn that history is not something in a textbook, it is in the street. And because you have access to these travel reduction options, these experiences are not just weekend full of stress and expense. They are opportunities for growth, perspective, and connection. That is one of the hidden advantages of studying here. Not everything has to be painful, not everything has to cost a fortune, and sometimes being a student doesn't just have to make life easy, it makes life longer. There is another side of education that doesn't always get enough respect. The side that doesn't always live in lecture halls or long PDFs. The side that is built with hands, discipline, and reputation. The craft. In France, craft is not just less than, it's structure, it's serious, it's legacy. Whether it's healthcare support, social services, carpentry, culinary work, hairdressing, mechanic, caregiving, technical trade, these are not just fallback options, they are professions that keep society breathing. What people don't tell you is this: craft demands a different kind of intelligence. You don't just memorize, you execute. You don't just speak, you do. Your body learns before your mouth does. And for foreign students especially, this part can be powerful. Why? Because skills speak before accents. And when your hands know what you are doing, language becomes secondary. When you show up on time, respect protocol, and master repetition, you earn trust without having to explain yourself. Craft education in France is built around rigor. Schedule matters, present matters, precision matters. You don't just pass exam, you prove competence. And this is where many students grow fast, because craft teaches you accountability earlier. You mess it up, it shows. You improve, it shows even louder. There is no hiding behind theory. Another thing we don't often talk about is identity shift. When you enter a craft-based system, you stop asking, "What do I want to be?" and you start asking, "What problem do I solve?" That changes everything. You begin to see your work as service, your learning as contribution, and your presence as necessary. The work can be physically demanding, sometimes exhausting, but exhaustion hits different when you know why you are tired. You are building something real. Another thing people don't say enough is craft teaches you emotional regulation. You learn patience, you learn how to accept correction without taking it personal. You learn that feedback is not rejection, it is refinement. This part won't always be loud, it won't always be glamorous, but it is solid, respected, and it opens door quietly, one skill at a time. If you stay consistent, you respect the process, and you keep learning even when it's repetitive, you will look back one day and realize this is not just training, it is transformation, and that's craft no one can take from you. There are some things we skip over when deciding to study or live in France. Yes, there is paperwork. Yes, there is language. Yes, there is pressure. But there is also structure. France doesn't just let you arrive and figure it alone. The system is strict but is also intentional. Every step has a purpose. You don't just come here to study, you come here to prove commitment. Before you even step your foot here, you need acceptance from a real institution, a school that is recognized. That acceptance isn't just letter, it is the key. Without it, nothing moves forward. And then came the visa process. Long stay student status, documents, proof, preparation. It sounds heavy, but it forces you to plan your life instead of improvising it. You learn earlier that adulthood here starts on paper. And once you arrive, it doesn't stop. You validate your stay, you renew it, you justify your presence every year by showing progress, attendance, effort. France watches you constantly. That pressure shapes you. You learn discipline without anyone yelling at you. You learn responsibility without anyone holding your hand. And slowly you start understanding why many people say studying in France changed you. In France, education is considered a fundamental right, and the law clearly defines how schooling works for both citizens and foreigners. Here is what official law and government sources say. 1. Schooling is compulsory from the age of 3 to 16. This is not just a guideline, it is in the French Educational Code. Every child receives instructions from the year they turn 3 until the year they are 16, whether in public school, private school, or through authorized home instructions. 2. After age 16, training becomes compulsory until you are 18. This doesn't necessarily mean sitting in a classroom. It can also include apprenticeship, professional training, internships, civil services, or social and vocational integration programs. This means that even if someone leaves the traditional schooling system before 18, the country expects them to be in some form of education or formation. That's part of how France supports youth development and reduces unemployment. 3. The right to education in France is universal. The law doesn't distinguish between French or foreign nationality. All children living in France have the right to education, and the state must make schooling accessible to them. So this isn't about age limit restriction, even if you are an adult. It is about guaranteeing education for minors, so that every child grows up with basic skills, citizenship, understanding, and the foundation to succeed later on in life. And even as an international student beyond those age, there are paths open: higher education, language programs, adult training courses, and certified diplomas. Because the principle of education in France is rooted in accessibility and development, not exclusion. Another thing people don't always know about studying in France is that families aren't completely left on their own. There is a government support called the Allocation de Rentrée Scolaire. It's a financial help given to eligible families to cover school expenses like supplies, books, clothes, and basic needs at the beginning of every school year. Not every family receives it, but when a family is qualified, it really helps to reduce the pressure of back-to-school costs. On top of it all, schools themselves have something called a Fonds Social. It's a system managed directly by the school to support students who are struggling financially. That support can help pay for school meals, supplies, transport, and even professional equipment for vocational students. And when it comes to buying supply, many families don't rely on expensive store that makes school material affordable without breaking the bank. Sometimes associations or community programs also step in to provide textbook or supply for students who need extra support. It's not something that we always talk about, but it exists, and for many students, it makes continuing studying possible. And beyond school meals and scholarship, students sometimes need extra support for daily essentials. There are local associations like Restos du Cœur and Secours Populaire that provide food and basic necessity. Through these organizations, students and family can access things like eggs, rice, pasta, oil, milk, and even fish. They also provide hygiene products, clothes, shoes, and other necessary items. It's not charity, it's part of the social support system in France. Students and families can apply or visit these centers when they need help. For anyone new in this country, knowing about these associations can be a lifesaver, especially when you are balancing school, work, and living on a budget. These resources ensure that even when life gets busy, you have access to essentials and can keep focusing on your studies and growth in France. France is not just a country you study in, it's a country you live in, breathe in, and experience. For anyone coming here, integration is key. And that's begin with language. Speak even if your French isn't perfect. Participate in local activities. Join community events. Every conversation is a chance to learn not just a word, but the culture, history, and human connection. So step out, speak your truth, explore with no fear, make the connection, learn the culture, and remember the only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. This isn't just a journey to a country, it is a journey to your potential, a journey to your courage, a journey to a life that you are always capable of living. Every day here is a chance to grow, not just as a student, but as human. The language, the culture, the people, they are teachers in their own right. Step into discomfort, ask questions, make mistakes, speak anyways. That's how you learn and that's how you build courage. Remember, nothing here is a waste. Every connection you make, every friendship you nurture, every challenge you face shape you into the person you are becoming. Trust the process, respect yourself and those around you. Take it, own it, and live it. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.